welcome all our viewers on Araz News English, where we share with you latest news of South Azerbaijan community. Shahin Barzegar, South Azerbaijan national civilian activist, was summoned for the investigation and threatened by the Iranian security forces. According to Araz News Agency, Shahin Barzegar, known as Kartal, was summoned by the Iranian security forces last week and then sent to Tabriz Central Prison. Trial took place in Tabriz military jurisdiction, and the crime was supposedly propaganda against the security forces of Iran. But according to some views, he was imprisoned for the slogans aimed to protect political prisoners at the death ceremony of the national activist Hassan Demirci, a well-known tar master. After the trial, Shahin Barzegar was temporarily released for 70 million tumans. Ebrahim Nuri is another national activist of South Azerbaijan who was arrested by the Iranian security forces in the Babek Castle Convention. According to his brother, every member of this ward has been left alone. Only Ebrahim Nuri still remains in prison of Evin in Tehran. It is necessary to emphasize that Ebrahim Nuri is a senior student of law at the university. He published many articles of citizenship law in Iran. Former Secretary of the National Resistance Organization of South Azerbaijan Davut Turan, in an interview with American Voice Turkish, talked about America's embargo against Iran and the demands of South Azerbaijani Turkish people. According to Araz News Agency, Davut Turan, former Secretary of the National Resistance Organization of South Azerbaijan, said in an interview with US Voice Turkish, "The American state knows that if they want the regime in Iran to change, they should cooperate with ethnic groups, especially South Azerbaijani Turks. President Donald Trump's support that swoops in Iran is unseen in the past. Barack Obama did not see such support during his period. In fact, a conference on overthrowing the Iranian regime took place in recent months with the participation of American superiors, American senators, and representatives of ethnic groups living in Iran. In this conference, National Resistance Organization spokesman Babek Çelebianli was attacked by Persian groups and demanded that the conference be brought out because he expressed the word of South Azerbaijan. At the end of his speech, Davut Turan said, "The Iranian regime is trying to show that the economic crisis and financial distress is caused by people who are rooted in the American state. However, the only reason for these troubles is due to the lack of jurisdiction of the Iranian regime. And this will be the end of the Iranian Islamic Republic." Because of the economic crisis and the heavy embargoes in Iran, people are now unable to afford even a loaf of bread, so a new uprising has started in the most cities of Iran. According to the report, since the past week, a new wave of protests has begun in the country called Iran. These protests first spread out in the cities of Isfahan, Shiraz, and Shahin. Later on, the uprising was joined by the cities of Tehran, Mashhad, Keresh, and Sari, and in many places Iranian police forces intervened with violence. The footages of these protests were published by many international news channels. While all these were in the middle, the Iranian newspaper IRNA wrote, "A group of protesters have filled the city of Isfahan, but these protests have come to an end." This liar then said that many places are connected by forces due to conflicts, and protests continue to the present day. It must be emphasized that in this case everyone's eyes are in Tabriz, the heart of South Azerbaijan. Some groups should not forget that if the people of South Azerbaijan participate in this uprising, they will take part in the national interest and dominance of their own fate. South Azerbaijani national cultural activist Muhammad Hadi Abazzadeh was called on the non-departmental part of the city police. The call to the family of the actor was made on August 1st, saying that he had to apply to the police department on August 2nd. The activist's family said if Muhammad Hadi Abazzadeh does not go at the appointed time, it later on will cause difficulties for him. The security forces repeatedly asked Muhammad Hadi Abazzadeh to call the administration, but he ignored an illegal call and refused to apply, so an invitation was sent to the activist's house. Muhammad Hadi Abazzadeh was arrested in the protest in August 2016 and appeared before the court. According to South Azerbaijani activists, it is necessary to warn people about the illegal actions of the security forces to prevent the regime's oppression. In recent days, a new wave of protests against the state has been widening, which is carried out mostly in Persian regions of Iran. In some cities, people of poor class are going out on the streets to protest against the regime. South Azerbaijan infrastructure, material and spiritual riches have been stolen and destroyed as a result of the colonialist and racist policies of Pahlavi and Islamic Republic of Iran. As a result of the discriminatory policies of the racist Iranian states, South Azerbaijan is lagging behind in terms of cultural, economic and industrial development. Unemployment rate in South Azerbaijan cities are at the highest level, and the industrial and agricultural sectors has reached the complete bankruptcy. South Azerbaijan has been challenging the discriminatory and racist policies of the Tehran government, and the activists of the national movement have been exposed to the most severe hardship and long prison sentences. History witnessed South Azerbaijan nation rebelling against the persecution, standing for the rights and justice. Today, as always, South Azerbaijani Turks will not be silent against injustice and oppression and ignorance. Royalist supporters of the Iranian Islamic Republic, such as People's Patriot Organization and Ahmad News, which are as racist as Iranian Islamic Republic, are still desperately trying to sacrifice themselves for the sake of their own interests. But everyday excruciating slogans of heroic to breathe excite the social media, and the Azerbaijani nation aimed at putting the objection potential in the axis of Tehran. In the event of 2009, during the Iranian political silence tactic, South Azerbaijan tried to voice to the world that it would not be a toy in the hands of centralized fascists. In the last century, South Azerbaijan became a forerunner for the revolution that played a huge role in the political events of Iran. Unfortunately, Persian intellectuals have always been betraying Azerbaijani people. A small example of such betrayal is the media silence and boycott of the student protest of June 1999, and dozens of arrests of Azerbaijani national activists in recent weeks. Today, Azerbaijan will choose what to do and what not to do with its own will, not the political flow. Undoubtedly, with invitation of national movement of Turkish nation of Azerbaijan and other Azerbaijani political groups, it will rise in the name of Azerbaijan and its people. The Azerbaijani nation will rise up against poverty, unemployment, racism, and will break the taboos. The protest of the Azerbaijani nation will be realized by slogans against injustice, dictatorship, and racism. We are now experiencing the most sensitive and critical period. Secret agreements behind the scenes cannot deter a nation from suffering, and any protest in South Azerbaijan will turn into a strife for the freedom of Azerbaijani Turkish nation. It was all news for this week. See you next Saturday on Araz News English.